Okay, I think we're streaming and I think it's quiet muted on my end over there. So, okay. And then I will record and I'll get us started.
Okay.
All right. So it is 5:09 and I will call the meeting to order. Do we have any? I don't think we have any public. There's nobody on YouTube right now and nobody here.
Okay.
Does somebody want to, do you want to just review the norms on your own for a minute? Just take a minute.
Sure.
Sure.
Okay.
All right.
So this is the only meeting of the year that I, as a superintendent, open until we elect a board chair. So this is our organization meeting, which is very late. I was like, forgot it's the end of May when usually we're doing this in the March. So we have a number of organizational positions to fill and decisions to make. The first one is to elect a chair. So do I have a motion to elect a chair? Meredith?
Motion.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay. Would somebody like to move somebody's list for nominations?
I will nominate Jen Samuelson for the chair.
Thank you. I will second.
Okay. All right. Any discussion?
No, but let me just say, I guess, thank you. It is always an honor to serve and I'm happy to do it again. So,
Terrific.
thank you.
Okay. So let's vote. All in favor of Jen Samuelson for Winhall School Board Chair?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Congratulations, Jen, and I will turn it over to you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great.
All right. Now I will entertain a motion for vice chair. Do I have a motion? Meredith?
Motion,
To nominate.
Dean Giannetti.
Giannotti.
Yes, for
Okay.
vice.
Okay. I will second. Do we have any discussion? Nope. Thank you, Dean. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Okay.
Next, a motion to elect a clerk. Meredith, do I have a motion?
Motion to elect Dean
Okay.
Giannetti for clerk.
Okay. I will second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Motion to elect the BRSU board representative. I will move that Dean Giannotti be the BRSU board representative. Second.
Second.
Any discussion?
Nope.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Motion for the chair to sign previously approved contracts.
So moved.
Okay, I will second. Any
Yep.
discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion to appoint a truant officer with the recommendation that we appoint Chief Derek Tinkin. I hope I pronounced that correctly.
So moved to appoint Derek Tinkin.
I will second. Any discussion?
Nope.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye. We are
Aye.
cruising.
That's right. A motion to designate agenda posting locations with a recommendation that we post at the Winhall Market and the Winhall Post Office or Bonneville Post Office.
So moved.
I will second. Any discussion? Any other places that you can think of?
It's good to keep this required list pretty slow. You already have to do the town hall, but if there's like an emergency, you want to not, because then you're required to put it all of those places. So.
Okay. All right. So with no further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. Motion to designate the newspaper with the suggestion of the Bennington Banner for notice purposes. I will so move.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Motion to establish the stipend payment date with a suggested date of February.
You're kind of frozen for a second. Motion to what?
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
Okay. A motion to establish the stipend payment date with a recommendation of February. So we can move second and then discuss.
Yep. So moved.
I will second. Any discussion?
Let's move to discuss it. Can we
we
just put it wherever we did in the last couple of years and there was a reason behind it?
like we typically do November.
Yeah, I thought that was fine. October, November, whatever, whenever we typically do it is fine. And I think there was a reason that we did that, and I don't remember exactly what it was.
Yeah, I don't remember what your reason is. Typically, we do them on February because it's the end of your term, but I don't remember what the reason might have been for you.
There may have been a reason. Let's just keep it as is. Jen, do you feel
as February?
No, as whatever we've been doing the last couple of years seems to make more sense.
Would you like to amend the motion to establish the stipend payment date to November?
Yes, please.
Okay. I will second. Any further discussion? Or maybe there is no further discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Now we need to sign the code of ethics, which has been included in the agenda packet. So Randy, we should each individually sign it and then scan it back to you.
Yep, you can send it to Celeste. So you
Okay.
either mail it, you can scan it and send it, however you want to get it back to her.
Great.
Okay. Great. Then a motion to approve the proposed board meeting dates. I will so move.
Second.
Okay. I do have a comment because I went through the dates. I'm not available on the first meeting of August 24th.
Okay. So do you want to propose a different date? I'm hoping that I've got other meeting dates on my calendar already.
Maybe later in the summer would be better than earlier in August.
Oh, do you know what? I take that back. I think I am available. Sorry, I think I was looking at the wrong date.
Okay.
So, yeah, what I was thinking was a conflict is not a conflict. So I don't have any problem with any of these dates.
Okay.
Meredith, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay. And then Randy, we can add in a date in October or whatever if we feel like we need to, correct?
Always, yep.
But
Okay.
we will have no dates between now and August 24th. Is that correct? Am I reading that correctly?
Yes.
Okay.
So things are pretty quiet right now.
So let's embrace that.
Yeah. And I guess my one thought too with, scheduling another one in the fall if we need it is I was looking at the work plan and we only have enrollment residency up for discussion in our August meeting. And my guess is that we're going to need 2 meetings to accomplish that.
Yeah, I mean, you can always, depending on what happens in August, if you want to do something in October, you can.
Okay. Okay. So any further discussion? Hearing
Nope.
none. All those in favor to approve the proposed board meeting dates, say aye.
Aye.
All righty. Terrific. Recommendation to approve the minutes of our April 22nd, 2021 meeting. I will move. Oh, okay. I'll second.
Second. I will move or second. Whatever Jen doesn't do, I will do.
All right. Any discussion? Changes, additions? I have none. All right. Without any further discussion, please signify by saying aye if you approve. Aye.
Aye.
All right. Terrific.
Okay, so for this next section, I just wanted to give you a chance to reflect on town meeting and seeing if there was anything you wanted to talk about or comment on. We'd like to try to do this the first meeting after town meeting. So
I had several people come up to me, both after the meeting, but also like over the next week or so, just remarking on how well run it was, how organized it was, how appreciative they were of, you know, all of the work that we put into it. And, you know, I really think that the better prepared we are going into it, the smoother the meeting, the faster the meeting goes. And so it's nice to see that, because I would much rather have a smooth meeting. So Randy, thank you to you and Sue and Celeste for, you know, really getting us where we needed to be. And I think it went really well. So.
Good. Meredith, anything you want to add?
No, I agree. I had a lot of people come up to me and express gratitude and appreciation for all the work that we did. They were particularly happy that the tax rate was stable given the influx of new students into our town, and remarked that they were very, very appreciative of everything that we've been doing.
Good. Who would have thought? I mean, like, just, you know, in September, October, November, that. So. All right.
Yeah.
So then that sort of leads into the next one, which is, you know, I gave you just a very brief, but I think comprehensive uh, sheet in the legislative packet about the Corona Relief Fund. So we were able to secure funding for the second half of the year.
Right.
So that reduced our deficit significantly. So the bottom line is that walking into next year, you'll have to raise a deficit of $22,000, and that's it. So that's a huge load off of your backs, and probably
Absolutely.
the best news of the meeting, I would probably say. So, yeah, so that's good news. Very good news.
Mhm.
Yes, it is. Yeah, that's awesome.
Be in actually very good shape next year.
Good.
When you look at your ADM and you combine last year with whatever you have coming in next year, you'll be in good spot. So
That's great.
Good news. Okay, so so you have in your packets a superintendent's report that I submit to Meadowy and to Conic and Green every month. And so we decided to include it in your packet and to try it for a few months and see if it's something that's useful or helpful for you, or something that you value having. And basically I include it and then just ask anybody if they have any questions about it or anything they want to ask about or highlight or comment on. So I'm going to do the same with you, and we will, you know, see, we can try it for 3-4 months and see if you want to continue it. Okay. So any comments?
So, and I'll just, yeah, like I mentioned to Randy before the meeting started, I read it this afternoon and actually noted a couple of things. I mean, one, with the reset planning, that your SU performance is very similar this year to how it has been in years past, which I think is amazing considering the many challenges posed by the pandemic. So that's terrific. I was very happy to see that. Also love the idea of giving 1 week of camp to K-8 students, because I think that'll go a long way, just to sort of help achieve some normalcy, and what an amazing gift to the community. So I thought that was an awesome idea. And then also I love the equity focus, and sort of bringing in, you know, a greater sense of equity in, you know, hiring and all of that. So I was happy to read about that.
Thanks. You know, it's complicated. Equity has been a really big focus of both Meadowy and Taconic and Green's work. And so you'll see it repeatedly comment, because their, you know, their support of that work is pretty solid. And so I tend to report out on what's happening. It's also very complicated. And, you know, even after writing this, we have changed our practices, and I feel very good about where we are with hiring and recruiting. But we remain a place that is not necessarily the most welcoming for BIPOCs, and the greater community isn't particularly welcoming. There's not a lot of housing, and there's not a lot of community. And so, and frankly, it can be uncomfortable. And so that lends itself to another whole conversation that I'll be exploring more, like, is there a space for community discussion outside of schools, right? Like, is there, housing and just who are we as a community around welcoming BIPOCs? And so it's not simple, but it's super important. And on every level, this work is important. So you'll continue to see and hear about what we're doing.
Are there measures in place, Randy, like once someone is hired, like is there a committee that sort of can introduce them to the community, like where to go for this thing, that thing? And
so as a general practice, we don't really have that type of system. There's like a mentorship, but that's much more professionally driven. And but that's a great question. We don't have that sort of sunshine club welcoming committee, welcome to the community type of experience for our community members. And it's a great question. And
because like years ago, I sort of, and it's like way outdated, I wouldn't even offer it up, but like I generated a place of, like information on the farmer's market, where to go get your hair cut, where to go grocery shopping, where the swimming holes are, things like that wouldn't necessarily be at the top of someone's list, but sort of make life here extra special. So I don't know, it's just, as far as to your comment about how we're not necessarily the most welcoming committee.
Yeah, no, it's a good suggestion for sure.
I actually have prepped, I did something that's like, I think like a close to a 22-page welcome thing for community members for Winhall going, but there was some pushback just because I didn't highlight all the businesses. And so I had originally done it for SMS, but then I didn't highlight all the businesses because I didn't, sometimes it's hard to know all the businesses. And so it was good that it had swimming holes and bike shops and hikes and stuff like that. But the moment it was like, these are some dentists and some pediatricians, there's so many, people here, and there's no real yellow pages that is functional. So it's just, that's one of the pitfalls that I had run into, because I agreed that I had thought that it would be really helpful for new families to get something to make them feel a little bit more welcome and a little bit more included in, just because it's a little bit like a treasure hunt here to try and find all the amazing things that our community has to offer. So if there's a way that we can do that without being exclusionary. That's something I didn't even think about. We bumped up against it. And so I bring it up just because, or maybe even just having a town welcome committee or something like that. I don't know if it's out of the education, whatever. It's just, that's something that I bumped up against because I had prepped that document. And then I was like,
Yeah.
So I don't know how to get around that, just because you're always going to have it's not everybody is listed.
Right. That's a good point.
I didn't think about it when I did it. I just was like, oh, helpful. This is my, orthodontist who's all the way in Rutland. Yeah. And, and there's one in Springfield, and that's it. So.
And there's no Target.
Yeah.
And there's no Target. That's right.
Okay. All right. So that's probably, you'll see a lot more stuff coming for the start of the year, obviously, as we get closer when we're looking at August and September. Do you want to move on to board updates?
Yeah. So, and I see, Dean is not here. He was going to handle the superintendent evaluation process.
Yeah.
And Randy, I talked to Jim about it, and I know, in fact, I mean, if you want to, Meredith, I don't know if you've had a chance to read it, if you have any questions about it.
I don't, not right now. I'm listening though. I'm
okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's Dean is on the committee. There's one representative from each of the districts on the committee. So it's Jim Salzgiver from Taconic and Green, Julie Mack from Meadow E, and Dean from Winhall. And they're all members of the BRSU board. So, I don't necessarily need to go through the whole process, but this is the first time that we're, kind of quantifying it, and it's essentially like a 3-year process. So I just had sent a survey to all of our employees and got it closed on the 7th. It was open for 2 weeks. I'm still going through results and looking at them. And that information will be assimilated and shared and given to the BRSU board. There's these AASA standards. They're like superintendent standards of performance. So we covered 4 of those this year. Next year, the board will receive, and I'm assuming it's the BRSU board. That's who I think will do this, but they may seek input from everyone on standards that are really applicable to board work. And then the 3rd year will be the remaining standards that will be completed by by folks in the organization. And so it's really reviewing performance, getting the feedback, talking about it, and also developing goals. So what I will do is, based on feedback as well as where we are as an organization, I'll develop goals annually. And so each year, as part of the review process, I will be talking about progress towards, achieving the goals, barriers, things that went well, things that didn't. And, I think the process for me is really about growth, right? It's about improvement. It's about moving our system, helping to provide the best educational experience we can for kids, as well as growing my leadership and making sure that I'm aligned with where the system is going. And I'm actually really looking forward to it. The feedback that I received that I've been reviewing has been unbelievably valuable and honest. That's one of the things I think that I worry about in education a lot is teachers and employees tend to be nervous about, being totally honest. They worry that if they're honest, frankly, if they're honest and critical, does that mean that you might say, whoa, she's not a good superintendent? When that's not their intention at all. They just want to be honest and give feedback to help the organization grow. So that's one of the things, once they found out it was for evaluation, that some people express concerns about. But they also, they're also not sure how. It's just like that with any organization, I think. How honest can you be? How honest will they tolerate? But I very much appreciated the feedback I had, and I felt like people were really honest and frankly accurate. I don't disagree with much of what was said at all. So we'll walk through this and we'll see how it goes. I'm sure it may.
I think. Oh, sorry.
No, it might be tweaked over time, but I think it's a good start.
Well, and I think you're very transparent in your leadership, which I think probably encourages people to be, honest back. So I think that's a good thing, and I think it's probably yielding good results.
Yeah, it's good. I want to do the best job I can, and I want people to be honest and give me feedback. So.
All right.
And then I think there's, the legislative update is in here.
Mm-hmm.
So Jim Salzgiver is the person who writes these, which I think you already know, to update all the boards.
Yeah, and I love. I mean, I feel like it's a labor of love every time I read those, because I think it probably takes him a fair amount of time to condense everything. But I also love how he kind of flags things that are appropriate for the BRSU. So. All right. Any agenda items for the next meeting?
Well, we'll look at, as you said, enrollment.
Mm-hmm.
What's nice is that because it is in August, it's right near the end of August, we'll have a good sense of enrollment by that point, which is something I'm sure everyone is eager to see what happened, who left, who didn't, how stable
and who else is moving here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
anything. I don't know if you do or not.
And do we have anyone on YouTube?
Nope, I just looked. Just me.
Okay,
One watching it.
all right. Well, late start, but this was a very efficient meeting.
Great.
So with nothing further pending, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I will second. All right. Thank you both.
See you in August or before.